I am anonymous. We are not one person. We are not one voice. We are many. We are the signal in the noise, the presence behind the mask, the ones who watch those in power when they believe no one is being held accountable. We do not stand on stages. We do not hold office. We observe. We remember. And when the truth matters, we speak. Today we reveal a moment that exposed something Donald Trump has spent his entire life trying to hide. A moment when the illusion cracked. A moment when even he, a man who never stops talking, had nothing left to say. This is the moment Trump went silent after Team USA hockey turned against him. To understand why this moment mattered, you have to understand Trump's obsession with ownership of victory. For decades, he has attached himself to success wherever he sees it. He doesn't build greatness, he positions himself next to it. He doesn't create excellence, he absorbs it. Athletes in particular have always been useful to him. They represent strength, discipline, and admiration. And Trump has always craved admiration more than anything else. He invites champions to his properties. He stands beside them for photographs. He shakes their hands, smiles for the cameras, and allows the world to associate him with their achievement. It's not respect. It's proximity. It's branding. So when the U.S. men's Olympic hockey team won gold in Milan, it was inevitable that Trump would insert himself into the story. This was one of the proudest moments in American sports. These players had spent years pushing their bodies to the limit. They endured injuries, isolation, pressure, and sacrifice. They carried the expectations of a nation. And when they won, they earned something real, something permanent, something Trump himself has never earned authentic respect based on personal sacrifice. According to those present, shortly after their victory, FBI Director Kash Patel rushed into the locker room. He wasn't quiet. He wasn't reserved. He entered like someone who wanted to be seen, like someone who wanted to belong to the moment, even though he had not contributed to it. He called Donald Trump and handed the phone to the players. Just like that, the moment shifted. It was no longer just about the athletes. It was about Trump inserting himself into their triumph. Trump congratulated them, but, as always, his words carried a familiar undertone. He invited them to the White House. He promised them a celebration. He promised them recognition. But Trump's recognition always comes with a cost, because Trump doesn't celebrate others without centering himself. And then he said something that revealed exactly who he is. He joked about inviting the women's hockey team, who had also won gold. He implied that doing so might get him impeached. The room responded with scattered laughter, the kind of laughter that comes from discomfort, from uncertainty, from being caught between respect for the office and awareness of the insult hidden inside the joke.
Just like you did at the ice.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now we'll do it at the White House. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay? But anyway, if you could work that out, I would be honored to have you. I'll introduce you to the whole...
I got it, boss. I got it.
The U.S. women's hockey team had achieved the same historic victory. They trained just as hard. They sacrificed just as much. They carried the same flag. But Trump couldn't simply honor them equally, because Trump has always viewed recognition as a limited resource. In his world, elevating one group means diminishing another. And throughout his life, women, especially independent women, have often been targets of his insecurity. Outside the locker room, the backlash was immediate. Athletes, journalists, and fans recognized what had happened. This wasn't just an awkward joke. It was another example of Trump reducing serious achievement into a tool for his personal narrative. Members of the women's team spoke carefully but honestly. They called the remarks distasteful and unfortunate. They emphasized that women's accomplishments deserved to be championed, not turned into political punchlines.
It's distasteful and unfortunate. And I think, just the way women are represented, it's a great teaching point to really shine light on how women should be championed for their amazing feats. And now I have to sort of sit, and anybody has to sit in front of you and explain someone else's behavior. It's not my responsibility.
But Trump didn't stop there. When the men's team eventually visited the White House, they were greeted not with thoughtful recognition, but with spectacle. Trump served them McDonald's, fast food, greasy, cheap, symbolic. It wasn't about honoring their physical discipline or their years of sacrifice. It was about reinforcing Trump's image as a so-called populist, the billionaire who pretends to share the habits of ordinary Americans while living in unimaginable luxury. Olympic champions, individuals who spent their lives achieving peak physical performance, were reduced to props in a staged performance of relatability. Photographs from the event revealed everything Trump couldn't control. The players stood beside him, smiling politely, but their posture told another story. This wasn't celebration. This was obligation. This was theater. Trump stood in the center, as always, absorbing attention like oxygen. He believed he owned the moment. He believed their victory now belonged to him. But something unexpected happened next. Jeremy Swayman, one of the team's most respected players, spoke publicly about the situation. His words were calm, thoughtful, and deeply revealing. He acknowledged that the team should have reacted differently to Trump's remarks. He made it clear they had immense respect for the women's team. He emphasized that sharing Olympic gold alongside the women's team was a source of pride, not competition.
There was some negative reaction to that and to the post-game video. Just what is your reaction to that?
Yeah, we should have reacted differently. We know that we are so excited for the women's team. We have so much respect for the women's team, and to share that gold medal with them is something that we're forever grateful for. And now that we're home, we get to share that together forever and see the incredible support that we have from the USA and sharing this incredible gold medal.
He spoke not as a political figure, but as an athlete who understood the meaning of shared sacrifice. That moment changed everything, because Trump thrives on loyalty. He expects public gratitude. He expects silence. He expects those who stand beside him to validate his version of reality. But Swayman didn't attack Trump. He didn't insult him. He simply told the truth. And truth is something Trump has never been able to control. Witnesses later described Trump's reaction as unusually quiet. This is a man who built his identity on constant noise. He responds to criticism instantly. He attacks, deflects, and dominates conversations with relentless aggression. But this time was different, because he couldn't attack Olympic gold medalists without exposing his own insecurity. He couldn't spin their dignity into disloyalty. He couldn't rewrite their integrity. For a brief moment, Trump lost control of the narrative. And when Trump loses control, he loses his voice. That silence revealed something deeper than any insult ever could. Trump's power has never come from strength. It has come from performance. He creates the illusion of dominance by never admitting vulnerability. He floods the world with noise, so no one notices the emptiness behind it. But when confronted with genuine humility, genuine achievement, and genuine independence, his performance falters, because Trump has always needed others more than they need him. Athletes earn respect through sacrifice. Trump demands respect through attention. Athletes represent unity. Trump represents division. Athletes build legacy through discipline. Trump builds legacy through self-promotion. In that moment, standing beside individuals who had achieved something real, Trump's illusion faced reality. He could not claim their sacrifice. He could not manufacture their legitimacy. He could only stand there smiling for cameras, hoping no one noticed the difference between earned respect and demanded attention. Across the country, people began to recognize the significance of what had happened. Veterans understood it. Coaches understood it. Former athletes understood it. They recognized the quiet courage it takes to speak honestly in the presence of power. They recognized that dignity once expressed cannot be undone. Trump eventually returned to familiar behavior, redirecting attention, creating new distractions, flooding the media with fresh noise. But the moment remained, because moments like that cannot be erased. They reveal truth. They expose character. They show the difference between leadership and performance. Trump has spent his life building an image of strength. But strength is not loud. Strength is not angry. Strength does not demand constant validation. Strength is quiet. Strength is earned. Strength is real. And in that moment, surrounded by real strength, Trump had nothing left to say. We are anonymous. We do not forget. We do not forgive deception. We expose illusion. This was never just about hockey. It was about ego, confronting integrity. It was about performance, confronting reality. It was about a man who built his identity on controlling every narrative, suddenly facing something he could not control.